Hello again. If you want to support the creation of more ad-free Void Signal, then please consider visiting voidsignal.net or patreon.com/voidsignal and signing up for as little as $2 a month. It gets you access to the Void Signal Stranger series and a whole bunch more. Anyway, I hope you're hanging in there as best you can. I know sometimes are significantly more difficult than others, but I hope that you're doing the best that you can and that it's acceptable. The other thing is, thank you so much for listening. Void Signal is nothing without the hearts and minds to hear it, so I appreciate that very much. Anyway, we'll keep it short. Take care, and I'll see you soon, sexy.
Awesome. I can hear you.
Okay. There was a little bit of a delay, but we will see how it goes. How are you guys?
Good.
We are good. How
Good.
are you?
I am all right. I had my 3-month post-op appointment today, which was splendid. So yeah, today's good. Just busy. You guys have been very busy as well. Thank you so much for your patience in rescheduling this and getting it to work. I do appreciate it very much.
Of course.
No problem.
Yeah, we're easy going.
Yeah.
Just happy to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. I really do appreciate it. I wanted to kind of, I don't usually do intros for the podcast or anything. I just sort of start talking at people. But I wanted to at least kind of give people an idea of who the two of you are and who I'm talking to, I guess. So you are Wesley and Jules Foster Rogers, 2Libras. You guys started in 2018, I think is what I saw on the thing.
That's right. Our
Gotcha.
first show was our wedding show.
Wow, congratulations. That sounds fun and exciting.
It was fun.
Yeah, we wanted to get married our way, so we forced everyone to listen to our music.
Yeah, hell yeah, that's how you do it. Like, yeah, you guilt. Use a lot of guilt and be like, oh, it's our special day. Like, well, if you don't, yeah.
Well, you better stay to watch it.
Yeah, that's smart. Very smart. Because then it counts as a hit. Because, you make people show up and like, oh, are you not going to buy merch on our on our special day?
On the day of our wedding.
Yeah.
You come here on our day of our wedding and you deny us.
So 2018, that was a little bit ago. What prompted you to want to make music? Did you guys come from music making backgrounds, or how did we get to 2Libras?
We have a little bit of music backgrounds. Both of our dads were musicians. Yeah, and brother. Yeah.
And then he needed a keyboard player, so that's kind of started me with music. I never played music before,
And Jules is like, I'll play.
I'll try to learn the synth, and who knew there was a hidden talent there?
Right.
When she just kind of picked it up and learned really quickly.
He was like,
It
we'll
was
try
like
you
the-
with 3 songs.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can do it, but we'll just try you with 3 songs. And sure enough, I did the whole discography within 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, all right, well, yeah, more than 3 songs for you.
That's awesome.
Then after that,
yeah.
when that band unfortunately had to disband, Jules and I had been thinking about doing our own project, and it just kind of fell into, we basically hit the ground running with it.
Right. That it's cool that you sort of took to it, like discovered that you were adept at a thing. Like that's a really good feeling to be like, oh, I took to this really naturally or whatever and did really well at it. So when you first sat down to try and put this together, what are you hoping to, is there, let me organize my thoughts for a moment.
No worries.
I need a moment to figure my whole life out. So just,
I just every morning, every afternoon.
Drink a little coffee so you can figure out your life.
Yeah, exactly. So, what was something that you guys hope to accomplish with 2Libras? I mean, obviously, everybody wants to make art and make music. Like, I would hope for their own pleasure and like as this outlet for self-expression. But did you have any kind of hallmarks in mind when you set out on this endeavor to make this project? Were you ever like, oh, I hope we can at least make it to this point?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's, it's a definitely a goal. How to reach that goal is always been a struggle, but we definitely do want to get it out there nationally, worldly, like to get to a point where we can actually, tour and
touring the globe. That
be a
was kind of
successful tour too. And
yeah, touring the globe was always the goal. We love playing live and we want to travel. And that's like, it's like, hey, if we could do those both at the same time with each other, that's awesome.
Right.
Yeah, we just love meeting people too. Like, I think because since we've done 2Libras, we've met some of the most like amazing people.
Yeah, fans and bands, like bands themselves too. It's like it's the cutest little friendships we make along the way too, where we'll play with some bands and there will be like great friends of ours online, and like when we finally get to like
Meet
see
them
each other
or
again,
play a show with them. It's super cool. And so I guess connection, expanding the sound, and I don't know, like kind of see where it takes it, I guess. Like I think for a while I was really hoping it would branch off, like, get viral or something, and then, COVID hit, and then things just kind of reset. And then I was like, it's just been a struggle. It's like 5 years in. We don't know where it's going. We can't get picked up with the record label or anything like that. I don't know if we want a record label.
Right.
But I think this year was kind of like this reset of like, we released this album, we finally made an album, and we're like, where does 2Libras need to go now? And I think we just kind of went back to like your first statement. We do this because we just love making art and it makes us happy. And if people love it, that's even better.
Sure.
Yeah, and the original thought too, when we were first kind of starting to do stuff, Jules was mainly an artist. She's a painter, and I was a musician. And my idea was to blend them together, make something that was like an art exhibit, like the interactive art exhibits you go to sometimes, and you're like, this is so cool because you get to like interact with it. And that's kind of what we put into our shows. We want it to be interactive. We want it to be something other than just a show. We want it to be an experience.
Sure. Something kind of multimodal.
I didn't see it that way. See it that way. I didn't want to be a painter and sit together. I wanted to keep it separate.
Yeah,
like that's your thing. This is my
but it's good. That's how we work together. Is that sometimes we have certain visions, and then we're like, let's do it this way. It's like, cool.
Saying no,
which is good.
Yeah,
you gotta whittle it down.
Yeah, for sure.
Otherwise, I'll have crazy ideas.
Yeah, and I would hope that after 5 years of working on this together, that I would assume that your process is pretty refined into like, here's where we're going to compromise on this or compromise on that, and like would you say that like it makes being a couple and as well as a couple that makes music together, would you say that it makes it easier when it comes to the creative process because you're better at communicating and making compromises?
It's actually we pretty easily kind of bounce off each other.
Natural, just me and we're always communicating with each other. In the end, it's always about the song. It's not about egos when we try to work together.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever been a time that I've been like bad if she's like, no, take that part out, or she's like, this sounds better if you sing it this way.
I don't know, Wes, last week.
calling me out.
This week throwing, the snare drum.
Oh, right. Yeah. Void Signal's about to get real dramatic.
That was all play. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, sweet. So yeah, it's good that you have that you have the advantage of being able to like, communicate and work together as musicians and as partners and everything.
Yeah, it's actually she's been the easiest musician to work with, which is, saying something, since other musicians I worked with, had worked with music longer, but then she was a bit newer and she was even easier to work with.
Yeah.
Sometimes she's like, am I hard to work with? I'm like, no, you're super easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And so is painting still kind of like the main kind of creative outlet, or is music kind of taken over?
Hey, music has taken over a bit. I know Jules wants to get back into some painting, but recently she took a little break with it. She's been so busy with music.
Yeah.
It comes in with her like design elements though. That's
Sure.
All the art is mostly designed by Jules,
Yeah.
and rightly so, because I'll try to design something and I definitely have to get her to check it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's the little tweaks that need to be done? And
Wes has a spell check.
oh yeah, there we go. There's that partnership.
Yeah.
I'll check.
Yeah. And
I caught myself with a typo the other day and I was mad at myself. I was like,
yeah, and for sure, like that was the thing that I discovered, like trying to do a podcast is, like there's a lot of graphic design that has to happen that you don't really account for. So I do think that that's a kind of, at least in my experience and in a lot of the artists that I've spoken to, is that it does seem to be a huge asset if they have somebody in the band or they have a friend or a resource for doing their own art and sort of like picking up on some of those things that other artists struggle with. It seems to be like a huge advantage just because of being able to do that yourself. Is that your experience as well?
oh, definitely. Yes.
Gotcha.
I'm just happy to utilize my college degree.
Right.
I haven't been able to get a sustainable graphic design job since I moved out here, and so I was like, it's good to at least still practice this graphic design degree that I have. So yeah, it does save money, because when I realize how many people charge, and then it kind of makes me reflect my life going, God, did I undercharge myself so much? I could have really done better with this. So
yeah. No, I get that completely. I tell myself I'm using my college degree and doing void signal stuff. I'm like, oh, I'm a journalist, sort of. That's kind of like writing, right? Maybe a little. I mean, we're close. We're trying to make it count. But yeah, like as something that you did mention there is the underselling yourself. Is that like, at least in my experience, I feel like a lot of people don't know how much like artistic skill costs. Does that make sense? Yeah. Is that kind of your feeling as well?
Yeah, it's well, what happens too is a mixture of artistic skill and just knowing what the market is like requesting, and now what the market has. I realize with graphic design, Canva is like this biggest thing that people can just jump on there if you don't have graphic design skills and kind of come up with a template. Even though there's a lot of people who will use the same template, we kind of got replaced, So that's also what's hard to like ask for what you're worth, due to the fact that anyone's like, well, then I can just buy this template off of, $10 a month off of this website. So that's what's kind of happening. And then AI now. Right. AI can do anything for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry. Huge bummer. Don't mean to.
This is
we fought the machines and they won. That's why we wrote a song about it.
The 2Libras Bummer News. Network.
Yeah.
In bummer news.
Yeah, I'm on a roll. Like I've just the last like couple of Void Signal episodes have just had like huge fucking bummer moments of like, oh yeah, I remember how the world's fucked. Yep.
Yeah, that's life.
That's okay, because that'll be your next album.
Yeah.
Right, 10 songs based off of that. World End was based off of that too. So
yeah. And your album just came out, right? Like 2023 release is what I thought I saw earlier when I was listening to it.
March, yeah. World's End. March on the Irish Day.
Oh yeah, it was on Irish Day.
Yeah, March 17th.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And what was something that how do you feel about the album now that it's been birthed and is a couple months old?
I love it.
It's interesting because so me and Wes, this is where kind of like our difference is. Me, I'm always looking for the next, right? I
Sure.
don't really appreciate the moment, and
Right.
and of course I'm like the perfectionist going, ooh, I wish we did that differently, or I just keep like going, oh, I wish, it's just like I tend to see the flaws in it, and I have to
Sure.
like sit back and go, no, this is great. We did an album. Like
Mhm.
that was hard to do.
Mhm.
So just be proud of the accomplishments and try to like it's okay to always want to be better and you'll always be better, but it's just good to have that like that moment that
Sure.
this is our level of like where because it shows from our EPs and where we're at now, it was
Mhm.
significantly better.
Yeah.
So I was happy with that.
And that was we were working towards making something that was up to our standards for ourselves. Like
Mhm.
we knew there was a lot of other people that like we were getting so many different people saying, "Oh, you guys should do it this way or do it that way," or you
Tell
they
me
didn't.
what to
Yeah.
do.
So we were kind of like, "All right, we want to make an album that we like."
Mhm.
We found an engineer that actually that got us
Mhm.
understood what we were going for a little bit more raw, a little bit more.
Yeah, we wanted to do something a little more experimental.
Mhm.
Just kind of we're very influenced by the 90s. We're 90s babies and
Sure.
we like that more raw sound, not so because with like was it American Idol?
Yeah,
Which is
pre-American
really
Idol.
yeah, it's like pre-American Idol. We like more attitude and emotion versus like polished and pretty.
I always say that like Trent Reznor or Kurt Cobain wouldn't have won American Idol, and I think that's way better.
Yeah.
You know, when you can say that you're a loser and that's a good
Right.
thing. Like, yeah, yeah,
Sure.
I'll lose at American Idol. That's cool.
Yeah. And I mean, plus it's like it's kind of punk rock to be like, oh, I don't give a fuck. Like, you know,
Yeah.
it makes you
Yeah,
cooler.
we're definitely very punk. Even though we're kind of gothy, we're definitely have very punk mentality.
Yeah.
So
I'm all for the punk mentality, not so much maybe on the music. Like,
yeah,
there's like I could maybe put together a playlist of like 30 punk songs that I'm like really like will get down on, but like for the most part, like punk's kind of boring, I guess. Like,
Like
it's
traditional punk.
always the
yeah,
same formula. It's definitely a genre that can expand if it wants
sure,
to.
I love how
Just like with anything,
yeah,
gets stuck in pattern, and then everyone's like, "This is how it needs to be," and
yeah,
that's kind of like why we decided to be like, well, we're cyberpunk because there's not really a defined genre of what it's supposed to sound like, and it kind of gave us this freedom to be whatever we want it to be.
right, right,
electronic with a punk attitude.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. And I mean,
You
like that punk attitude, I'll take it in any other form of music, like
Yeah.
all
yeah.
day. Like, but yeah,
And that's we were watching something about Courtney Love the other day,
mm,
and I think it was her old bandmates that were talking about from what was it, Babes in Toyland?
Babes in Toyland.
And they were like, she doesn't even like punk. And I think she was like talking about how she just didn't like the whole thing of the punk that like everybody knows. Like you were saying, like you don't like that specific style that's
yeah,
like copied by everybody. And she was saying that. She was like, yeah, I just don't like some punk. It's like, and what if you don't like like the traditional punk, like you can't like punk? Like
right,
you can like the other punk stuff.
yeah,
So like people be like, oh, she doesn't even like punk, so she's a poser. It's like, fuck that.
yeah,
Oh, poser.
a poser. What year is it?
Well, that's what when we were watching it was an interview from the '90s. So
Yeah,
MTV when
good shit.
they had good stuff.
Calling people posers. Wow, what a trip
You
back
know,
in
right?
time. Uh,
We need another MTV so we can all call each other posers.
that's right.
All have like a band wars where we're yelling at each other about
Yeah.
they're posers. They're
I mean,
posers.
there definitely needs to be more like calling each other posers. It's fun, but it's also like hilarious to me that it's like, I don't know, like, okay, so like the industrial music genre, like,
Yeah.
I love it mostly.
Yeah.
Sometimes more than others, but like, I don't know. I just think that like when it comes to, genre, like you don't have to be like huge into it to love it. Like, I'm not going to go out of my way to listen to, all the industrial ever. I get fucking bored. Like it gets old. Like, so I don't know. It is interesting to me though. I did want to come back to this though, that you guys mentioned that calling it cyberpunk music and sort of freeing yourself from convention in that respect. Do you think that genre matters much anymore as far as like a descriptor?
That's a good question. I think it still does to the general population because they just kind of like it. I hate being labeled, but
Sure.
it kind of does help with that introduction to be like, what do you sound like, or what is you like, just to kind of narrow it down what it is, and sometimes I feel like it's kind of pretentious when you're like, oh, we're no genre. Genreless. And it's like, okay. It's like the artists that I met too, they're like, oh, if you don't understand my painting, you don't know anything. So,
If you don't like it, you don't get it.
Yeah.
but it is hard to come up with one because when we first started in 2018, we were like, well, maybe we're dark wave because we had synth wave elements and we had dark wave elements, but all the dark wave genres were like, you're not dark wave, and we're like, okay,
Yeah.
that's okay. We respect that. I don't know what we are. And then when we came up with cyberpunk, and because it was in 2018, and this is before the game even came out. It just kind of made sense and it kind of stuck on people, but now people call us dark wave, which is really funny.
Right. You've come full circle now.
Yeah, because we were kind of like, well, what's the soundtrack to The Matrix, all those types of like cyberpunk movies, and it's just a big old mixture of like stuff that's
dystopia,
it's dystopia, high technology, low life,
the corpos.
Yeah, fuck the corporations because they're taking over. Just like what's happening now with what Amazon just came out with healthcare, which we knew was going to happen.
Talking about it true now. We're hoping 5 more years, but
get my lung transplant on Amazon Prime.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it does. I mean, the other added component of that is like, trying to come up with genres and stuff is that like, who the fuck wants to try and like figure out, like describe themselves in their own music? Like, especially when so many people in the scene have, not just yourselves, but like a lot of your contemporaries and peers are also people who are like, to hell with convention and genre. I'm going to make whatever I want to make. And then you kind of have to like figure out like, and then somebody's like, what is this? And then you're like, I don't know. I just fucking shut this out. This is my special baby. That's what it is. Like it's, so
baby music
makes sense. Yeah. This is my special baby, all my music. So
yeah.
Lowest common denominator, I think, is what.
Yeah. Pretty much.
One of our friends says a lot, so I think that's sort of sometimes what I was for a while. I would be like, "What kind of music do you like?"
Yeah,
yeah, for that.
Yeah,
what music for that?
Yeah, exactly. What kind of genre do you think it is?
Yeah, exactly. You tell me.
Why don't you listen and tell me?
Like a notepad, and you're like, "Thank you."
Yeah, you're like, "Oh, I've never heard that one before. A good one." Yeah,
that's actually what I used to do with my paintings. When people would say that they would interpret it, I'm like, "That is so much better than what I had." So I would just like,
yeah, for sure. Like, so in college, I went to school for creative writing. So like workshop classes, it was like, somebody would be like, it would come the time to like dissect my story or whatever. And people would be like, oh, it was so smart and clever how you did blah, 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 such and such. And I'm just sitting there like wide-eyed, like I'm a fucking idiot. Like I didn't do that on purpose. Like, thank you so much. But like,
You just gotta own it. Like, yeah, totally.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I did going forward. I was like, yeah, in BD, like, yeah, planned it all out. Like, you roll with it. But, at the time, you just kind of, it's whatever.
Yeah. I think David Lynch is good at that too, where he has a good vision, but then there's sometimes he goes with his gut and he's like, I just want that blue. Like, and like part of it's like, it's either complete genius or just, other people would be like dumb. I would be like, yeah, he just goes with his gut. It's like, whatever. Like, don't overthink it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It just feels like he wants a blue.
Yeah. Sometimes it just feels right.
Yeah.
You can't question
it. Okay, so another question that I did want to put to you both is that, so as a smaller artist in the industrial goth dark scene, right? Whatever you want to call it. What kind of obstacles do you see in the near future that you're gonna have to try and overcome as far as like the next step for 2Libras, and what is the next step?
Ooh, the obstacles. Money.
I mean,
making money off of this stuff.
Aside from being trapped in a capitalist hellscape,
that's it.
Yeah,
it's not when people buy my T-shirts, I like it.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, capitalism. Yeah, give me money. Yeah, buy my T-shirts.
Oh, no, we're supposed to be anti him.
I mean, that moment, nobody's buying my T-shirt right now.
Right.
It's cool. Like, you're gonna clean my car, you can have my shirt. It's good.
Yay.
Yeah.
So the obstacles we do, it's funny when we hit those. We kind of see them as like ceilings, and we got to figure out how to break through them or get around them.
Sure.
Sometimes you kind of have to go around it.
Yeah, you just gotta dance around.
Yeah. So,
festivals.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get into those. Those are hard. I don't even know how to begin to even know how to get us in the bid to get on there, because I think festivals would be kind of we've been successful playing a lot of shows, even opening for really good shows too. And now it's like, that's the next step, is getting on these festivals. It's like, how do you do it? Especially when you're an independent band that, you're pretty much doing everything DIY. It's like, how do we get to that step? So that would be a good challenge. I would say next year is one of them, is that.
Yeah. Even though we are touring next year too.
We are touring.
Which is nice. We're getting back to tour. We toured in 2019, and then we haven't been able to yet again, but then we're planning with Licorice Chamber to tour with them and Replicas next year.
And it's going to be, it looks like previously you guys had played like mostly West Coast states. Is this another West Coast tour, or?
This is definitely another West Coast tour, but we are planning an East Coast in there too. We have a couple friends in the East Coast that are willing to play with us, and we just have to find our way out there. And that's going to be another good challenge, is how do we travel with our instruments, or how do we fly with them?
Right.
So that's like, another challenge is how to tour with all this stuff.
Yeah, because we have kind of worked on like limiting the equipment, like downsizing to like as less equipment as possible to sound good, which is hard. Yeah, because sacrificing our exact sound is very difficult to us, because if we're playing and it doesn't sound the way we want it to sound, it's just it's not fun.
Yeah.
And
so we want it full, we want it rich, so when you're at the show you could really feel like the music. And a couple compliments we have gotten that people think, like, they said we sound like a full band, or like there's a drummer on stage, and we're like, no, it's just the stuff that we use just kind of fill it up. So
just the two of us and a drum machine right now.
Gotcha.
Yep. Which eventually when we'll hire like a drummer for touring when we get big enough to
once
to
you guys are
huge.
hire
one. Once we're huge. Which is what, next month?
Yeah, I mean imminent, like any minute. Like
any minute now.
After we play the moon, that's the one. I think that's the next step.
Makes sense.
I mean, it's easy. That's an easy
band to play in the moon.
Yeah.
First,
Okay, so the other question that I was, oh shit, hold on a second, my mind just blanked out. Damn it.
Oh, no worries.
yay.
Yeah, we're doing that again.
Hey, blank minds. People pay a lot of money to blank their mind.
I mean, I'm going to do that after this interview.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Oh well. Well, it's gone now. What is so? Aside from 2Libras, what is, what's the bill paying thing? Like, what do you do to like make make it spin?
Oh, are you talking about our OnlyFeeds page?
Yes. What's your address for the feet
It's
pics?
a secret. We tell people they have to find it
Okay. All right.
themselves. So yeah, please do not send us feet anymore asking if these are ours.
I was
Let everybody
really
know that.
tempted to go on there and try and sell feet pics. Like, if somebody wants to pay me dollars to see my gross ass motherfucking feet, you bet. Whatever you're paying is what I'm selling for.
There's a thing for everything. There's things like if you have pimples, people are into that. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, gross and weird.
Yeah. But hey.
Like, I don't mean to yuck somebody's yum, but that's fucking disgusting. Sorry. It's
exactly. It's a hard economy.
Yeah.
My face, bro.
And you can say
Yeah.
that you're disgusted by it, but like as long as you don't say like they themselves are disgusting, that's where I think it's like I can constantly be like, that is not my thing, and be like, I'm sorry, that's disgusting to me.
Yeah.
Whatever floats your boat.
Sure. Yeah, diplomatic like that.
Popping pimples makes you money.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Only
Only zits.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if it pays, it's it's whatever.
Sweet.
Pimple work is real work.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
These days you had to just be innovated. It was like I was showing Wes all these TikToks where like the NPCs where people are just
That's weird as fuck.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the future now. It's just like, yeah, you just go on in and you just come up with some things when people like pay you money, and I'm like, it's interesting. We're all just trying to find a way to make money right now because working regular jobs just doesn't pay enough.
Yeah.
No,
it doesn't.
I definitely have done my fair share of weird jobs in the past, or weird ways of making money. It wasn't that weird.
What is the weirdest way you've ever made money?
I mean,
because now that you've hinted at it, we have.
Yeah.
So, I mean, would it be incriminating? Because, I mean,
don't say names. Just say.
Yeah.
Okay, I would say, a while back, I for a bit, I would say like maybe 3 months or so, I was basically living off of my friend and I were bootlegging CDs of a very popular cartoon that didn't have DVDs for some reason at the time, and everybody loved the show, so we were bootlegging them, selling them on eBay. It was to me it was awesome because I was like, what? I don't have to work Subway jobs anymore. I don't have to keep making sandwiches.
Right.
So for 3 months, I didn't have to. I mean, it was weird.
It's weirdly unethical, maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, you're only damaging corporations, and fuck them.
But yeah, I respect that. It's like, good job.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's no hate here. It's all respect.
I feel bad for the artist, but yes, the corporation. Fuck the corporation.
Yes.
Big corporation. It was a big corporation.
Yeah, and the artist is just getting fucked by the corporation, too. So,
They weren't going to get paid anyways.
That's right.
Of the stories.
Clearly, because the the DVDs didn't exist, so
Exactly.
Right. All right, Jules. What about you? What's your weirdest job?
2
Libras.
2Libras. Yeah.
2 Libras.
Being Wesley's manager.
I married this guy, and then we made a band or whatever.
That job. Ball and chain.
Clean banks. That was like I would work the night shift, and I would just have my little car and with my little cleaning products, And I remember seeing one of my high school or the person I knew in high school. I was like cleaning his desk, and I was like, "What am I doing of my life?" He's like the president of this bank, and I'm cleaning his desk. So that was more of a sad job,
Right.
but it was cool at the same time. Though I was trying to get my way through college, and
Sure.
I was my own boss. So that, and then I had to fold laundry for single men. That was another interesting job. Like these men would
that's
come
weird.
in with like this lots of laundry, and they needed me to fold it for them.
That's
So that was a weird-ish job.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
That is weird.
I fold laundry for
Yeah, I
single
fold
men.
laundry
For single men. Mm.
It sounds hilarious.
single bachelor. Extra starch on iron their shirts too. It was it was
Yeah.
kind of like their housewife in a weird way.
Yeah, that's not a thing you can put on the resume. It
Yep.
it raises too many questions in the interview. All right. Well, that was a strange answer. What, all right. Well, so I don't want to keep keep you guys all night. So the last question that I always ask is, what is something that you're enjoying right now? Your answer can be anything like a movie or a book or a TV series or just whatever, just something that you're jazzed about every single day. And yeah, whichever one of you wants to go first.
What are you jazzed about?
Well, we don't get much downtime, but when we
Sure.
do, yeah, we've been playing Cyberpunk, the video game, for ever since it came out. We played that a lot, so we love that video game.
And Party Hard.
Party Hard's a
I
good
guess I
one.
like violent games, and I'm not a violent person, but I like killing a lot of people. It's like, what is wrong with me?
You gotta have that outlet.
I need this outlet that I didn't realize I had.
If you're not breaking stuff on stage, might as well break some stuff on a game.
Right.
I also I've been playing a little bit of Alan Wake 2, which is pretty fun, and it really reminds me of one of my favorite books, House of Leaves, which is cool. And
we were hiking for a while. I was pretty jazzed about that. That was fun. Like, because Pacific Northwest, especially Seattle, just has so many hiking trails, and that's been fun. And excited to learn.
We were doing that every Sunday. We would just force ourselves to
We just needed to be in nature.
Find a place to hike. We would just like finger on the map, kind of just be like, oh, and we're going there.
Yeah.
I'm excited to take this Reiki class. We're learning some Reiki. I don't know if people would think it's hocus pocus stuff, but I find it fascinating. So I'm excited about that too. I like a lot of doing healing art stuff. I just finished my naturopaths natural nutrition school, and now I'm going to up it to doing some Reiki.
Gotcha.
So
she's a healing witch.
I try to be.
All right.
You know.
Those are good answers. Those are good things to enjoy. Yeah. Being in the Pacific Northwest, I've not ventured up that way too many times, but I was pretty enamored with it. It is lovely.
Are you located at?
I am in Reno, so high desert. You
got desert mountains.
Yeah, we got the desert mountains. It's getting cold here right now. It's pretty nice, but I mean, I like my dry, the all that moisture up there. It's not great for my hair. It just looks
I feel shit. We were looking into Las Vegas because we were fascinated with of course the sun, because there's no sun up here, and
none.
But there's some sun, but not enough.
Yeah,
and it's how Vegas is just evolving. There's just so much more happening down there. But then the scary part is, can you survive it being the desert? It's like, I mean, scary.
It wasn't too bad. I lived in Vegas for about a year, and it grew on me, and I ended up kind of liking it. The 115 heat days, kind of, I mean, I don't know, once it's over a certain temperature, you kind of don't really feel it, I guess, until you die or whatever, until you're fucking dead in the street from it or whatever.
I was just trying to get a pop.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes you feel like you're a potato when you're walking around, but it's Vegas was cool overall. I mean, like there was tons of stuff to do, and like as soon as the sun goes down, like you're in the desert. There's a huge temperature drop. And then
Yeah.
you get a nice breeze coming in, especially here in Reno, like because we've got the wind coming over the Sierras and everything. So we've got like a mountain breeze kind of a thing. So yeah, it's dope. So just to answer the question myself, because I always do, just to echo the video game sentiment, I have been. I was not playing video games for a while. Just everything was kind of boring. But I fell in love with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre video game, and you are absolutely right about about exercising some violence in in a virtual space.
What's wrong with me? Why do I like this so much?
Yes, I felt the same way because I played the Texas Chainsaw game, but not the victims, killers only. And like, you're running around like cornering people in the basement as Leatherface, and you're like, "You stupid bitch! I got you in the and it's like, and then people are like screaming and running, and then you're chainsawing, and there's that moment of like, this is kind of murder simulator. Am I a bad person?
I'm really good at like being a ninja, like sniping and stuff, and I look at Wes like, wonder.
Yeah.
I'm like, look at how I strategically killed all these people.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just good at killing. Can't help it.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm assassin. No.
I'm sorry that our society just doesn't have a good role for me to fill with these skills. Sorry.
Well, it's like, oh, that could be an interesting, weird job. Is that I'm actually a sleeper assassin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't say this.
We couldn't confirm it.
Right, of course.
Like we got given it away.
Yeah, naturally. But yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre has been my jam, like ever since for past couple of months of like just chainsawing people, and it's therapeutic. I feel so free and liberated after.
That's cool that you can play either, and play as.
I wonder how the victim. I would suck because
I've only played the victim like once or twice, and it was not for me. That's not an experience I'm sitting down like looking for.
Maybe a victim.
Yeah, I'm not going to be the mouse like in this cat and mouse game.
Not for me either. That's it. Not going to be a victim.
People in life.
Yeah.
You would not be a villain.
Yeah, I don't want to play horror games. Like, I'm not sitting down to be stressed out. Like, it's not. No thanks.
That's I used to play Left 4 Dead with friends, and that was cool. That like someone could be like the other. What was it? All the zombies.
Yeah. Whatever the hell. They had like a special name in Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, forget what it was. Because it was all the special ones, right? You could be like the one that spits out stuff.
I liked the tongue man. Like like grabbling people and pulling them away from. Yeah, that shit was great.
Lasso them.
Yeah,
tongue lasso.
I was we played like Mortal Kombat 11.
Oh my god!
And I was like, this is unnecessary.
Yeah, those are crazy.
It's just so violent. I'm like, oh my god! I remember when it first came out, we're like, oh, this is unnecessary. Now it's like it is leveled.
Yeah.
So gross. And it just keeps going. I'm like, and I can still keep fighting after that.
Yeah, they just get like totally fucking insane and over the top, and like, because like it was the Mortal Kombat 10 was just like it was the one with like the little X-ray things where it's all like, ooh, hold on a second, we're gonna zoom in, and this is how you broke a bone or what. And it's like some crazy like this person's motherfucking dead. Like thing just happened, and then they jump back up, and it's whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just like crazy over the top, like visceral, like and then the bone snaps, like crazy. I don't know. Video games have gotten very, very visceral.
It's kind of like with John Wick 4. We were watching it again the other day, and I'm like, how? What did you call him? He's a.
He's a is he like a boogeyman?
Yeah, he's a boogeyman that like just can't die.
Just can't.
Gets hit by like several cars, and he can still get up and fight. And
Baba Yaga.
I still love it though. John Wick. I love the John Wick. I mean, you go into it knowing it's ridiculous.
We saw it in 4D too. Oh my god, it was so fun.
Yeah, we've been enjoying the 4D movies. Where do you have a 4D movie out there or a theater out there?
No, I have no idea what that is.
Oh, so it's a so your seats move. It's
shit.
like you have the smell.
Yeah, they have like
they
scents set up to.
stuff. You get splat with water. If like there's
Wow.
if there's shooting, like you'll feel like air next to your head, like there's bullets, and then if there's a punch, like you'll feel it in the back.
Yeah, like, and like air will hit, like if a bullet
Yes.
goes past the character, it'll like, and like so you feel like a bullet's flying past you.
Wow.
And when John Wick 4 was coming
Yeah,
out, we're like, we have to see that in
Yeah.
4D.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
happening. The car scene, your chair is just like moving so much. It was so fun.
That sounds fucking crazy. That sounds amazing. Like, I would love
Right?
to do that.
Yeah, see if there's anywhere close to you guys out there. It's definitely only see action movies. I can't see like seeing a Disney like cartoon.
Yeah, no.
I don't think it would be as fun.
No, that sounds boring. That's not nearly as exciting. Yeah, I will be up that way next year for Mechanismus, actually.
Yeah.
Right?
Cool.
Will.
We'll be there.
Yeah, we'll be
be
a
there.
Mechanism. So.
Excellent.
So we'll be able to officially meet you.
Yeah, that's right. I force everybody to hang out with me, whether they want to or
Yay.
not. So yeah, looking forward to that. But we will go ahead and wrap this up. Yeah, that was it. Thank you so much for your time and for coming on the show. I really do appreciate it very much.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
It's been awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet.
It's great to talk to you.
Yeah, good to talk to you guys, and I'm looking forward to hanging out at Mechanismus. Void Signal intro and outro music courtesy Processor. Visit processor2.bandcamp.com for more Processor, and visit voidsignal.net to help support the creation of more Void Signal. Thank you.